Moz here. In the last video with the 330e, I was talking a lot of mumbo jumbo because I was all excited of actually getting the car, so we didn't cover any of the details that well. So the intention with today's video is then to talk about some of the options I have exterior wise and also interior wise and what the car is, etc. So without any further ado, let's get on with that. So what do we got here? So this is again a 330e, where the E stands for electric then. So we got a combustion engine, which I have actually checked. The engine block code at least is similar to what we have in a BMW 330i. However, this has most likely then been down to 284 horsepower, as the 330i has 255, I believe, or 54 horsepower. And also coupled with the transmission, we also have an electric motor that gives out 68 horsepower in normal mode, but there is an extra boost functionality which under 10 seconds give an additional 41 electric horsepower. So the total adds up to somewhere around 293 horsepower combined then with the combustion engine. And that extra boost function is only when you have it in sport mode and so on, and you floor it, then you will get that amount of horsepower for 10 seconds then. And the coded numbers from BMW are 0 to 100 kilometers an hour or 0 to 62 kilometers an hour. Miles per hour is coming in at 6 seconds. However, I have not been able to try that out as I have winter tires on, but we will get to that when I get my summer wheels on and we'll try out with the draggy. I'm thinking of actually doing some runs with the winter tires just to see the car's performance. And speaking of the electric motor, so we have a battery which has a gross capacity of 12 kilowatts, and the quoted number from BMW is that it should give you somewhere around 60 kilometers on pure electric mode then. And the gearbox is an 8-speed Steptronic automatic gearbox, which shifts really smooth and nicely. You barely know it's there. It might not be as quick as a double clutch, but in this type of vehicle or any other type of vehicle more or less, those type of gearboxes or these type of gearboxes are getting really, really good. And the torque figures for the motors combined is 420 newton meters. I don't think that changes, even though you get that extra boost functionality and so on. I think the newton meters are constant. So that is that with regards to the drivetrain. Now let's have a look on the exterior parts of the car. Let's start with the front of the car. I'm really sorry for the car being this dirty. It doesn't matter how much I wash it. The weather we have now is really gross, so the car looks dirty more or less all the time, and it hurts my soul. Again then, so this car is an M-SPORT packaged equipped car, so we actually have a front bumper which is different compared to a standard G20. It might not look that overly aggressive, but if you compare it side to side to a standard G20, the differences are actually quite huge. We have these big grills and the inserts, the black inserts, etc. in the corners, which we don't have on the standard G20. And as you can see, it matches the upper grille really well. And also I have opted for extended shadowline package, shadowline black package. So this trim piece around the upper grille is blacked out as well in gloss black then. Usually then this part is in chrome, and I hate chrome. I'm really happy that I opted for this option then. And with regards to the front, I might have something incoming which will make it a bit more aggressive, so we'll have to stay tuned for that. Other aspects in the front to talk about briefly is the headlights. So I have not opted for any of the options that are out there. BMW has an extended LED package, or actually a laser light package as well. I have not opted for that. That would have been nice, but from a cost perspective, for me, the type of driving and so on I do, those options are not needed. Moving to the side of the car, one thing that is different compared to a standard 3 Series is this hatch then, for where behind it you plug in your charging cable. I wish this would have had another way of opening it, because this gets scratched up, and also I've experienced that it actually freezes during winter time when it's -degrees and it snows and it gets cold and so on and so on, and it's difficult to open the hatch or latch or whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, I have very big winter wheels. They are very sexy. So these are 17-inch OEM wheels. It's the 778 model, I believe. I really hate them, and I'm considering to actually swap these out for something nicer, but let's see, it's not that many months left of winter driving. Looking further down on the car, so the side skirts are a bit different on the M-Sport package. They're a bit more accentuated, and I mean, again, just looking at it in this way, it doesn't look that much more aggressive, but compared to a standard one, it is a difference. And also for this part, we might have something more aggressive coming to actually enhance the visual experience. Moving our way up, we can see that we have black mirror caps, so this is an additional option I opted for. And with the extended Shadline package, the Shadline package, we get black trimmings in gloss black around the windows. I believe this portion is gloss black on the M-Sport package, and it's a bit different color on the standard G20. And also, as you can see, I have opted for the OEM window tinting in the rears, and to me it's the perfect blend of tint and transparency, and it really looks good. Potentially then I will do a light tint on the fronts as well to match it up a little bit better. And one of the most important aspects to talk about with regards to the exterior is the color. This color is really beautiful. It is called Sunset Orange, and in the sun it really pops. Unfortunately then the car is really dirty now, so it doesn't actually show the true color, so to speak. I didn't want to opt for a white or a black car, etc. I wanted something that is actually visually popping out a bit, so to speak. I wanted first to opt for the Portimao Blau, which is a beautiful blue color, but coming from a blue Mustang, I wanted to have something different, and I did opt for this. And actually the salesman, the seller, he was very happy that I actually bought the car with this spec and this color. He said usually everybody just comes in and buys a white one or a black one, and that's it. So that's fun to hear. And yeah, so that's everything from a side perspective point of view. I have done gloss black 19-inch OEM wheels for the summer. Another thing that is worth mentioning with regards to the M-Sport package is that we get M-Sport brakes. So these are 4-piston calipers in the front, and they are painted in the M-Sport blue color with the M stickers. And for the rear, let me show you there. We have a similar colored caliper, but it is a single piston caliper in the rear. And also one thing that we don't see on the exterior, so to speak, is that this car is equipped with the adaptive M suspension. So we have the option to set either comfort or sport mode, and the adaptive M suspension is supposed to lower the car a bit, but I am not sure if that is the case on the 330e. Moving to the rear of the car, here we also have some differences with the M-Sport package compared to a standard 3 Series. So the rear bumper is a bit more aggressive, and also we have this grayish piece here. And what happened now? We have an automatic deck lid opening, as you can see. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's close it up. So I actually have the key fob in my pocket, so something must have gone up there, and yeah, let's play a little game with the fella. No, sorry about that. So we have this black, it's actually not black, it is gray for some reason, which gives a little bit more aggressive look. And with the extended Shadowline black package, we also get black exhaust tips. Usually then these are chrome color. And again then for the rear, we might have some stuff coming which will make it a little bit more aggressive looking. But that again then is for a later video. Also, one other thing with regards to the exterior, this is the only badge as such we have on the car. I did opt for a badge delete, but this portion where it says E, they are not allowed to remove from factory, at least, because if you do get in an accident, God forbid, and the police or the ambulance staff, etc., would then know that the car has a high voltage electrical system in case of an emergency then. Now let's have a look on the interior briefly. So with the M-Sport package we get some updates to the interior. One thing being are these seats, which are the M-Sport seats, which are the standard seats. So they come in Alcantara, and also Sensatec, which is this leather-ish then part of the seats. And we have beautiful M-blue contrast stitching going over the seats, and also in the perforated part of the seat here. As you can see, it's a sandwich type of deal, so it is a blue color behind the perforation, so to speak. And these seats, in my opinion, are really comfortable. However, in general, the interior, I would have opted for a lighter color, but having small children, that is a very, very bad idea. And if I turn the camera to the door, we can see that we have the Sensatec on this portion of the door with the blue contrast stitching going across. Everything else apart from the speaker grill, because this car is then equipped with the Harman Kardon system, so the speaker grill is a little bit different compared to a standard G20 then. Before we jump into the car, I just wanted to mention the steering wheel also. So this is the standard M-Sport steering wheel with paddle shifters for the automatic transmission then. It has a nice touch to it, but in my opinion it could have been a little bit thinner, but that is okay all in all. Comparing this to my MX-5 as an example, the MX-5 steering wheel feels like a toy car compared to this one then. Stepping into the driver's seat, we are welcomed by these two beautiful big screens. So the infotainment screen is a 10.25 inch screen, and it is touch enabled. We can also control it, or some of the functions we can control via the steering wheel or this fob here, which is multi-directional, and also it supports hand writing. So let's say you're looking for a contact, or if you want to add an address while you're driving, you can actually then write the letters and this will recognize it. On this car I don't have, there is something called gesture controls in the air to like turn up the volume or turn down the volume, etc. However, the car is equipped with voice recognition. Also, this is then the latest iteration of iDrive. It is a really good system. Some things are difficult to find and so on, but in general it is a really pleasant system to work with. And this comes standard, no, not standard actually, it's an option I believe, which is Apple CarPlay, and this has support for wireless Apple CarPlay as well. Unfortunately, we don't have any support for Android Auto for some reason which I don't know. In conjunction with the infotainment system, this car is also equipped with wireless charging. So you just put your phone here if it's enabled for wireless charging, that is, and we'll charge the phone. And we also have a regular USB connector here, and also we have a 12-volt socket. And under the armrest here we have a USB Type-C connector as well. And we have aluminium trimmings going across, and also we have something called tetragon, hexagon, I always forget what it's called. Seeing it more and more and knowing what I know now, I would have opted for something else. In my opinion, it feels not that nice and it doesn't look that nice. So that is something you might want to consider if you want to option out your car. This might be one of the more cheapest things to switch out for a pure aluminum, brushed aluminum look, which in my opinion maybe is better. I don't know, but this doesn't feel that great, to be honest, but that's individual, so to speak. And looking at the display in front of us, so it is a 12.5-inch screen, and it shows a bunch of stuff. It shows your GPS navigation, it shows your speed, of course, and in the electric mode layout it shows your battery charge, etc. And if you go to sport mode, then the display changes as well, and depending then on the drive mode you select, it looks a bit different. I will walk through of the different drive modes, etc., what they do specifically on this 330e model in a later video, so I won't do that in this video. And what we have in this car is what I believe is the best option, more or less, on the whole car, and that is the head-up display. It is a really, really good head-up display. It projects this big of a picture on the windscreen, and it is in color. It shows your GPS, it shows your speed, it shows the speed limit, it shows your songs, etc., etc. It is crisp. I don't look that much into the driver info display because there is no need for it. I get everything I want in the head-up display. So if you are thinking of getting that option and you're not sure, I'm more or less telling you, get it. You won't regret it because it is top-notch. Really, really good. And speaking of some of the safety features and comfort features, so this car has adaptive cruise control, which I use daily. It has automatic braking for cars and pedestrians, and it has lane keep assist, and it's an active one, so if you're not paying attention, the car will actually actively steer you into the middle of the road. That feels a bit freaky sometimes, so I have actually turned that feature off and only have vibration activated. And other feature that we have on this specific car is a 360 camera setup with regards to when we are parking. And if you're coming from a car which only have had a backup camera, the 360 view camera is like sorcery because it projects the car from the outside. You can have a top view and so on and so on. So that is really, really cool, and it actually works really well in tight parking spaces and so on. So there are a bunch of cameras all around the car which then projects the image you see when you are parking. That is it more or less from a safety, how should I say, parking comfort options. I don't have the blind spot monitoring. That would have been nice, but that was in a separate package, so I did not opt for that. So unfortunately we don't have that in this car. But all in all, I think it is really well equipped. It has everything we need to have. And also another part of the comfort is that we have a heated steering wheel, which is nice now during the winter period. And also with the connected app, you can also then preheat the car and have it warm before you actually start driving in the morning or in the afternoon or whatever. However, keep in mind, if you have a 330e and if you are charging your car through your socket, which is not recommended, but if you're doing so, you will not get enough juice to actually charge the batteries and heat the car up at the same time. So it requires a bit of a planning. So if you're going to work at 7, maybe it is better to set that you're leaving at 6:15, so the car is preheated and it starts to charge the battery somewhat before you start your drive then. All in all, this is a really nice place to be in. The steering wheel feels nice, the materials feels nice. Apart from this, maybe then there are some harder plastics. The driving comfort, meaning the road noise, the wind noise, etc., it is really nice. Compared to the Mustang, it's like night and day, but it's completely different cars. So taking long trips, it is a truly nice car. And specifically in the 330e version, while we are in the electric mode, we have no vibrations from the engine, we don't have any noises from the engine, etc. So it is a really calm and quiet place to be in. We also have ambient lighting going across. We don't have 16 million colors to choose from, but there are some preset colors that can be set, and it gives a nice visual experience from an interior point of view. In my opinion, Mercedes interior lighting is nicer than this, but again, we have what we have, and I am happy with that. So all in all, this is what I have in this car, and this being a BMW, you can spend $1 million on options. I have added the options I think I would need and the options that are nice to have without breaking the bank. So that is that. I also want to cover the rear seats. 2 adults travel really nicely back here. As you can see, there is a ton of space in front of me, but that is because I'm a midget and I'm sitting behind myself, so it might look like we are traveling in a limousine, but even a taller person will fit nicely in here. Okay, maybe not a giant, but as you can see, there's plenty of room for my feet under the seat as well. We also then have 2 USB Type-C charging ports in the center console. We have a 12-volt socket and also controls for the climate. And again, then a lighter interior would have been nicer, but even though we have this dark roof and dark seats, etc., and also with the tints, sitting back here and traveling back here is a really nice experience. Let's have a look at the cargo space. This is not massive. It is actually, I believe, 105 liters less than a regular 3 Series sedan, the G20 model then. And that is because we have the battery somewhere under there, and it is actually eating up some of the space. And beneath here we have an extra storage space, but nothing spectacular as such. Alright, we have now reached the end of this introduction video to my new daily. We will be posting more content with this car. I will be posting with regards to the driving experience, the electrical range, and so on. And also we will have some modding videos, and also I have a new car prep video coming. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comment sections below and I will try to answer them the best I can. Please do like the video and do subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.